Welcome to today's class. In this class, we'll be discussing how to style a table in CSS. How to style a table in CSS. Previously we discussed how to make use of the table elements in HTML. So today we'll be discussing how to style our tables in CSS. So now let's start. So I'll be making use of the table elements. So I'll be saying table. So the role. So then I'll be making use of the table head. Sorry, the table head. So now in my table head, let me make use of the first name. Then I will say another table head. Oh, sorry, table head. I'll be saying the last name. Let me see last name. So you can see we are having this. So now in another table role again for my details, which I will say table role. Then I will say the table data, which is the TD. Then let me say Olabinjo. Okay, I have it. So another table data TD, which is the TD. Then I will say Ayo. Sorry, I will say Ayo. So now let me just create two so that we'll be able to understand better. So let me create another table row. Table row. Let me say look. Oh sorry. Sorry about that. I need to create my TD. Let me say look. Then another TD again. TD. Let me say Samsung. So now I have it here. So as you can see from our table now, we are having our details. So now normally without applying CSS, this is how our table is going to look like. So now let's apply CSS and see how our table is going to look like. So now we are having let me go to our CSS file. This is our CSS file. So don't mind all this. Let me pick them up. So now I'm going to make use of this direct. So I will say my table, the table head, and the table data. Now let me say border. Let me create a border. Okay, let me make it let me say 1 pixels. Let me make it 1 pixels. 1 pixels. And let me make it solid. Let's see. Now you see what we have now. It is now coming lively like a table. So now you see, just by adding only border to our table elements, like the table role, the table elements, the table head, and the table data. So this is what we'll be having. So you can see that styling our table is very, very simple in CSS. So this is one of the basics and one of the fundamental ways of adding CSS to a table. So thank you. So this is the end of today's tutorial. In the next tutorial, we'll be discussing more about our table. Thank you.